Back to give you the legal edge, and tonight we're focusing on COVID-19 vaccines and balancing safety with privacy. This evening, local attorney Bryan Waldman has more on if an employer can ask employees if they've been vaccinated or ask for proof of a vaccination.
Well, according to the EEOC, or the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, which is the federal agency that regulates and enforces civil rights in the workplace, the answer to that is yes, they can. But the EEOC cautions employers that they need to make sure that they do it in a way where they don't violate other laws. For example, the ADA, or Americans with Disabilities Act, which prevents inquiries regarding potential disabilities.
Does all this mean then that an employer can make getting the vaccine a condition of returning to work, let's say?
As I understand it, Siobhan, the answer to that is yes, they can. But if there is an employee who has, say, a disability or a sincerely held religious belief that prevents them from getting the COVID-19 vaccine, then the employer likely has to try and accommodate that employee or make accommodations for that employee.
So let's say then that if an employer says, okay, everyone here, we all need to get the vaccine, and an employee says, no, I won't. Does that mean that they can lose their job then?
It may, but again, it's going to require a careful case-by-case analysis. And if the reason for saying no is a health condition, a disability, a religious belief, the employer likely has to take additional actions to see if that person can be accommodated. And in that type of situation, I think it would be a really good idea for the employer to reach out and say, hey, I need help from an individual attorney to look at this specific situation and give us some advice.
We often hear people, raising HIPAA when we're talking about, well, you can't ask me about personal stuff like this. So where does that come into play? HIPAA.
So HIPAA is the Health Information and Portability Act, and it applies to certain types of entities, or what the law refers to as covered entities. And those are health insurers, healthcare providers, or clearinghouses for health information. Essentially, the types of entities that are routinely transmitting health information electronically. Most employers aren't going to fall into that category, so HIPAA isn't going to apply, in my opinion, to most employers.